All praise and glory to the Most High. Hey, hey, Yod, hey, Wah, hey, hey, Yod, hey. Baraka, Hashem, Iyawa. What's going on, everybody? May the righteous judgment of the Most High fall upon these heathens and Gentiles. May death and destruction fall upon the houses and the homes of the Gentiles and the heathens that come together and deceive and destroy and set out to do all these evil things to the children of the Most High. May the righteous judgment fall on the doorsteps of these heathens and Gentiles. Hey, hey. All right, what's going on, everybody? Back with some more information. I hope everyone is doing well. Hope everyone is doing well on their journey. And just want to share some more information with you. Excuse me. Want to say what's up to Chief Rue. Thank you for the video. I'm getting ready to show you. I found it. But I also want to thank you for the hospitality that you show me in your home. Thank you. You and your beautiful wife and your beautiful son, my godson. All right, Chief Rue, Milwaukee. Hey, hey. See you soon. See you again. Thank you for the hospitality. All right, let's go. All right, so just want to pick back up on CFR 27, Section 72.11, when all crimes are commercial. Okay? Now, this is from 2007, all right? So, I'm not laying claims to this information by no means. Just sharing the information to you because for those of you who are searching and seeking and involved in this information, this part right here. According to the late Chief Justice William H. Rehnquist, 100% of the people that are in federal or state penitentiaries are there voluntarily. Okay? So, when all crimes are commercial, all right? Have you, and this will be, the link for this will be in the description box, and if you have problems finding it, I have a copy of it. All right? It's very interesting information for those of you who have eyes to see and ears to hear. Okay? Have you or your family member been victimized by our so-called legal system? There is help. However, it will not come from an attorney at law, for they are the problem, not the solution. The Citizens' Rights Task Force is here to help you. Now, I don't prescribe to this whole citizen thing. Being a citizen puts you under the jurisdiction of the corporation. All right? So, when you're reading this information, it is your responsibility to weed out the, things that don't apply to you. Again, I do not prescribe to being a citizen because a citizen is chattel property to the corporation. All right. The Citizens' Rights Task Force is here to help. Why? Consider the following facts. Again, according to the late Chief Justice William H. Rehnquist, 100% of the people that are in federal or state penitentiaries are there voluntarily. That's because we're in a commercial commerce environment. Contract makes the law. Commercial commerce is governed by private international law, contract law. Okay? Everything we do, there's a contract involved in it. Only we don't know. We like to sign everything without reading anything, and then we end up in these situations where we get screwed. It's because our lack of knowledge, we are destroyed, and our ignorance of the law. So again, according to the late Chief Justice William H. Rehnquist, 100% of the people that are in federal or state penitentiaries are there voluntarily because we sign contracts. Don't believe it? We have some simple yes or no questions to prove how one is duped into forfeiting their rights and trading them for statutory privileges. All right? Just a quick example. right versus a privilege. Okay, I conduct commercial commerce. I am a professional truck driver. All right, I drive for a living. Okay, driving, I have a commercial driver's license. That is a privilege. Okay, driving is a privilege. However, when I'm not in my when I'm not conducting commercial commerce, and I'm not pulling a trailer, I am traveling in my personal conveyance. Traveling and driving are two different things. The Supreme Court has ruled you have a right to travel, not drive, travel upon the land unencumbered. Okay? Real quick, the reason why you see these interactions between people go sideways is because their use of terminology. When you're dealing with this law, you must be on point and exact with what you're saying. For instance, if you get pulled over, right? Now you're exercising your right to travel in your personal conveyance, not a car, not a truck, your personal conveyance. Look it up for yourself. I could prove this. I have this on my electronic log. Okay? When you're traveling, you're in your personal conveyance. And for people who have not properly studied the information, they will get pulled over and then they will say, I have a right to drive. And then they will get into this heated exchange with the agent because the agent knows you don't have a right to drive. It's a privilege to drive. And then, of course, the interaction goes sideways because that person didn't study themselves approved and they're misusing terminologies and things of that nature. And now you have a situation that just goes totally wrong for you. Again, you must be, when using the law, you must be on point and exact with what you're saying. You have a right to travel unencumbered upon the land. Driving is a privilege. That is a right. Traveling, driving is a privilege. That is just an example of the difference between the two. All right. So, uh, again, yes, the question is to prove how one is duped into forfeiting their rights and trading them for statutory privileges. An attorney at law is an arm of the state, and their first duty is to the court, then the government, not to you. Furthermore, whenever any duty to you interferes with the first duty, you are the one that is to take back seat. And I know this to be true. I know this from experience. A lot of you do too. Think you have an attorney-client privilege, where what you say to an attorney at law remains private. Ever hear of discovery? This is where your attorney is ordered to turn over your information to the state that is attempting to incarcerate you. 1 in 32 Americans is either in prison or on parole or probation. Over 40% of people admitted into prisons in America are convicted under the political code, and therefore, by definition, political prisoners. Furthermore, since political prisoners end up with mandatory longer sentences, the cumulative effect is that they end up being the majority of the population. Wink, wink. Yasharahala. America's incarceration rate is now 743 per 100,000, the highest in the world. America locks up more people for drug crimes. Remember, it is a commercial crime to be addicted to narcotics. It is a commercial crime to smoke marijuana. America locks up more people for drug crimes than all of Europe locks up for all crimes combined. If you go to trial in federal court, there is a 96% chance of being convicted. Do you really believe that only 4% are innocent? It is the government's position that if you do not know your rights, then you don't have any. Maxim of law, maxim of commercial law. He or she who does not exercise their rights have none. All right. According to 27 Code of Federal according to 27 Code of Federal Regulation 72.11, burglary, counterfeiting, forgery, kidnapping, larceny, robbery, illegal sale or possession of weapons, prostitution, extortion, swindling, and many other things like simple addiction to drugs or marijuana use are considered and defined as commercial crimes, where you are converted to an object for commercial use, and due process of the law becomes a farce. So what is the solution? Learn and exercise your rights. They are yours. All right, so I'm gonna leave it at that. This uh, PDF will be in the description box. The link will be in the description. Be the responsible Aboriginal that you are and read this information. Again, it is your responsibility to take out things like citizens. Citizens, those type of terminologies definitely put you under the jurisdiction of the corporation. Again, I do not prescribe to that. All right. So that's your responsibility to learn what these terms mean and where they apply, whether they apply to you or not. All right. But this will be in the description box. All right. So now, just wanted to use that to preface this video. Again, thank you, Chief Rue, Milwaukee, Illinois. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. All right. Now, I'm going to show you what happens when you do not contract with these agents of these municipalities. Now, a municipality, a city or town that has corporate status, okay, and local government. All right. Now, corporate status, municipality. So these police departments are nothing more than corporations. They're nothing more than your McDonald's, your Burger Kings, your Wendy's, your Target, your Walmart, so on and so forth. Okay? All right? You see this word all the time. You walk past these buildings. A lot of you, unfortunately, have to go into these buildings because you contracted, you didn't exercise your rights, and now you're being taken advantage of via deceptive practices through these municipalities. All right. So let me show you what happens when you do not contract.
An unlicensed driver hit his car, but he's the one who went to jail. When an police officer cited Jamar Harris for obstructing traffic, he refused to sign and accept the ticket. KATV News Watch 7's Dave Roberts looked into this. He's live. Dave?
Well, if you get anything out of this story, it should be how not to go to jail. It's always a good idea to do what police tell you, and in this case, if you don't, you're instantly committing a crime.
If I don't agree with it, I won't sign it.
Jamar Harris didn't agree with the ticket handed to him by an Omaha police officer after an unlicensed driver hit his parked car. Harris refused to sign the ticket, citing him for obstructing traffic.
He said, well, I'm going to give you one last chance. Sign it or go to jail. I said, well, sir, it's like you're going to have to put me in handcuffs now.
So were you shocked to have to go to jail for not signing a citation?
Yeah, because I've actually, in the past, I refused to sign a citation. And they just throw the ticket at me and tell me, you know, whatever, we'll see you in court.
If you don't promise to appear in court, which is what your signature is, then the officer is going to arrest you and take you to jail. That's what the statutes provide.
Omaha.
Okay. Did you hear that?
Appear in court, which is what your signature is.
And play that back.
See you in court.
If you don't promise to appear in court, which is what your signature is, then the...
If you don't promise to appear in court, it's what the signature is. Do you hear this? This is the Omaha City prosecutor telling you the truth about your signature. Because you signed these adhesion contracts. Remember, we're in a commercial commerce environment, right? Contract makes the law. Okay? He's telling you. Let him tell you again.
We'll see you in court.
If you don't promise to appear in court, which is what your signature is, then the officer is going to arrest you and take you to jail. That's what the statutes provide.
Omaha City Prosecutor David Smallheiser directed us to the state statute. Any person who refuses to sign the citation shall be guilty of a misdemeanor.
That's a separate criminal offense.
Now, statutes and codes are not the law, okay? A lot of you know this information already. You have these puzzle pieces in play. Statutes and codes are not the law. We have learned that these are special. You have the law, and then you have these special laws. The real law, the actual law, trumps special law. Real law, the law of the land, trumps codes and statutes. Okay?
There's up to 90 days in jail and a $500 fine.
We found this law that says that they actually can arrest you, and it's a separate crime not to sign a citation. Are you shocked?
I'm actually shocked, yeah, because it's never been exercised with me before, and other people that I know.
Harris spent one night in the Douglas County Jail. The city released him and dropped all charges. While Harris is happy with the outcome, he's
Before, and other people that I know.
Harris spent one night in the Douglas County Jail. The city released him and dropped all charges. While Harris spent one night in the Douglas County Jail. The city released him and dropped all charges. While Harris is happy with the outcome, he's still reluctant to follow the law.
I don't feel like I should have to put my signature on a contract promising anything.
Harris spent one night in the Douglas County Jail. The city released him and dropped all charges. While Harris is happy with the outcome, he's still reluctant to follow the law.
I don't feel like I should have to put my signature on a contract promising anything.
Last year, the Omaha Police, the Douglas County Sheriff's Office, and the State Patrol in Douglas County issued 50,000.
Okay. See what's going on here? He did not contract with them. Yes. The state, the code, the statute of the code says the municipality, the corporation, can take you to jail, right? But they let him go the next day because he did not contract, right? What do they often do? Oh, if you don't sign this, you're not going to be able to see the judge. You damn right you're not going to be able to see the judge. You know why? Because you didn't contract to see the judge. You didn't put your signature on the contract, and therefore you're not going to stand in front of this fucking witch, this witch on this motherfucking stand. Warlock. That's what I was looking for. Warlock. Okay, because you did not contract to go in front of the warlock. Okay. I want you to think about what's being said here.
County Jail. The city released him and dropped all charges. In the Douglas County Jail, the city released him and dropped all charges. While Harris is happy with the outcome.
Why would they drop the charges? They said, if you refuse to sign the ticket, you're going to jail. Okay. Harris was willing to take one for the home team. He went to jail. Why did they let him go the next day? Why did they drop all the charges? Because Harris was intelligent enough, an intelligent aboriginal who obviously studied himself approved and knew not to sign the contract.
I know.
Harris spent one night in the Douglas County Jail. The city released him and dropped all charges. While Harris is happy with the outcome, he's still reluctant to follow the law.
I don't feel like I should have to put my signature on a contract promising anything.
Last year, the Omaha Police, the Douglas County...
You can look this up for yourself. No one can force you into a contract. It is illegal for anyone to force you into a contract. Okay? I just showed you. Municipality. These police departments, these corporate, they're nothing more than corporations. They are under private international law, contract law. You cannot be forced into a contract. Okay? It is your ignorance of the law and your willingness to just sign anything without reading it or without reserving your rights that are getting you into these situations that you don't have no business in. Now, I'm going to play this one more time and show you how they try to spin this. Okay? Real quick. Because this right here, this dude, how he tried to spin this.
He's the one who went to jail.
Not this guy.
When police officer cited Jamar Harris for obstructing traffic, he refused to sign and accept the ticket. KATV News Watch 7's Dave Roberts looked into this. He's live. Dave?
Well, if you get anything out
Now, watch how Dave Roberts, this motherfucker, try to spin this shit. Listen to this
of the
bullshit.
story, it should be how not to go to jail. It's always a good idea to do what police tell you, and in this case, if you don't, you're instantly committing a crime.
Of course it's a good idea to do what they tell you. It's how they're making their commerce. By fraudulently using deceptive practices on the aboriginals on the land and deceiving them and forcing them under threat, duress, and coercion to enter into contract. It is illegal, once again, for anybody to force you into a contract.
If I don't agree with it, I won't sign it.
Jamar Harris didn't agree with the ticket handed to him by an Omaha police officer after an unlicensed driver hit his parked car. Harris refused to sign the ticket, citing him for obstructing traffic.
He said, well, I'm going to give you one last chance. Sign it or go to jail. I said, well, sir, it's like you're going to have to put me in handcuffs then.
So were you shot?
So, there's your human trafficking. You're threatening to take me to jail because I don't want to contract with you. That is threat, duress, and coercion. Okay?
To have to go to jail for not signing a citation?
Yeah, because I've actually, in the past, I've refused to sign a citation. And they just throw the ticket at me and tell me, you know, whatever, we'll see you in court.
If you don't promise to appear in court, which is what your signature is.
See how he slurred when he said it? You see how it's signature? He gave it away right there.
Promise to appear in court, which is what your signature is.
A promise to appear in court is what your signature is when you sign this adhesion contract. Stop contracting. Remember the first time I started on this journey, I was reading a forum, and somebody wrote, black people need to stop signing that, putting their signatures on shit. Right? At the time I was just getting into all this information. And I was like, what does this person mean by that? Now I understand what he means, or what that person meant.
So it's going to arrest you and take you to jail. That's what the statutes provide.
Omaha City Prosecutor David Smallheiser directed us to the state statute. Any person who refuses to sign the citation shall be guilty of a misdemeanor.
That's a separate criminal offense that carries up to 90 days in jail and a $500 fine.
Okay, so again, municipality, a city or town that has corporate status and local government. Okay, borough, town, city, district, precinct, township. The governing body of a municipality. Okay, there are corporations. A corporation cannot produce a victim because it is a fictitious entity. Okay? All right? So, just keep that in mind. All right? Again, it's for people who are just coming into this information with eyes to see and ears to hear. If you're already familiar with this, then you're already familiar with it. All right? A lot of our people, when we learn these things, we take it for granted and we think everybody knows this. This is how you're being taken advantage of. All right? So, I'm going to let the rest of that play so you can hear it again, and I'm going to move on.
This law that says that they actually...
Then the officer is going to arrest you and take you to jail. That's which is what your signature is. Promise to appear in court, which is what your signature is. Then the officer is going to arrest you and take you to jail. That's what the statutes provide.
Omaha City Prosecutor David Smallheiser directed us to the state statute. Any person who refuses to sign the citation shall be guilty of a misdemeanor.
That's a separate criminal offense that carries up to 90 days in jail and a $500 fine.
We found this law that says that they actually can arrest you, and it's a separate crime not to sign a citation. Are you shocked?
I'm actually shocked, yeah, because it's never been exercised with me before, and other people that I know.
Harris spent one night in the Douglas County Jail. The city released him and dropped all charges. While Harris is happy with the outcome, he's still reluctant to follow the law.
I don't feel like I should have to put my signature on a contract promising anything.
Last year, the Omaha Police, the Douglas County Sheriff...
Now, you have to ask yourself, why was this so important to put on the news? Why? Just one, I'm not, by no means am I disrespecting this brother. I'm just, just one, nigga, it's one speck in the fucking crowd. Why did they feel the importance of this is damage control. You understand? Damage control. All right? You see how this dude right here, this motherfucker trying to spin this bullshit, okay? See, they trying to hide the fact that if you don't sign these contracts, they have to let you go, okay? But you don't have to believe me. Study thyself approved. Find out for yourself, all right? All this shit is damage control. And I could prove this to you. There's a video where Hemok Shulab, before he started NAAIP, that video where he was in Tennessee and he was driving around saying he was a Moor, whatever the case may be. Now, they had Judge Joe Brown come out on that video and say, oh, that was against the law and this, that, and the other. You can't do that, so on and so forth. In which I'm going to prove Judge Joe Brown was on some bullshit too. But all it was damage control. Okay? I'm going to prove that to you. Me, Chief Rue out of Milwaukee, Brother Lex Will, and other people saw the video. And if you understand this information, and if you understand that you have the right to travel, you don't have to contract. When you understand these things, then you can start reading through all this bullshit. Okay? It is nothing more than damage control. All right? This video will be in the link for this video will be in the description box. All right, now let me go back to this article. All right, now I want to show you something. Okay, an attorney at law is an arm of the state, and their first duty is to the court, then the government, not to you. Again, I bear witness to this from experience. A lot of you do too. So let me give you a little breakdown of this before I show you this next video. An attorney, his allegiance is to the Bar Association, not to you. When an attorney is dealing with a client, they have a code of conduct that they must follow. Damn. Excuse me. They have a code of conduct that they must follow when dealing with you, okay? But their allegiance is not to you. It is to the Bar Association. It is to other officers of the court. I'm getting ready to prove that to you, okay? Excuse me. What is this? Okay, all right, so now, show you this next one. Now, this had to do with, there's actually another part, another video with this judge and this lawyer. And what it was, they were in court because his client was given a ticket for running his car in his driveway in Michigan. Now, I want you to pay close attention. This is a separate video. I was trying to find this video the other day to show you, but I couldn't. I just finally found it. So, I want you to listen closely to what this judge says to this lawyer, okay? Now, notice when the judge comes in, now I believe this is after the hearing with his client. Notice when the judge comes in, how pissed off he is.
All rise. 39th District Court, back in session.
You may be seated. Did I have a chance to review that case, Mr.
I am, Your Honor.
Mr. Sommer, before we get to that case, sir, I understand that you have an individual in this courtroom that has been streaming live on Facebook the proceedings. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Is there anyone that gave you that permission, sir?
No, I didn't realize that I needed
Oh, you did.
permission. I apologize
Did you
about
not
that.
know, sir, that you were an officer of the court?
I took it upon myself, Your Honor, and
No, I don't want to talk to you, sir. I'm asking the attorney. You knew that that was going on, right?
Yes.
Did you ask permission of the court?
No.
Did you know that you were a court officer? You were an officer of the court, sir?
Yes.
And why wouldn't you let me know that that was taking place?
I thought because it was already happening and we're in a public area.
This is not being live streamed. Let me know that that was taking place.
I thought. Yes.
And why wouldn't you let me know that that was taking place?
I thought. Yes.
And why wouldn't you let me know that that was taking place?
I thought because.
Okay, you hear that, right? Now, he did ask him, did you ask permission of the court? No, I didn't. That should have been it. Then he goes to ask him, why wouldn't you warn me? Why wouldn't you let me know that that was taking place? Okay? Okay. So if his allegiance is to the client, then how's this judge taking that position and asking him, why wouldn't you warn me? Listen, this ain't me making this up. Hear it for yourself.
An officer of the court, sir?
Yes.
And why wouldn't you let me know that that was taking place?
I thought. No.
Did you know that you were a court officer? You were an officer of the court, sir?
Did you know your allegiance is to the bar, to the court? Did you know that? Did you know that? That's what he's asking him.
Did you know that you were a court officer? You were an officer of the court, sir?
Yes.
And why wouldn't you let me know that that was taking place?
I thought because it was already happening and we're in a public area.
I mean, you could see the hurt in his face when he's asking him, why wouldn't you warn me of that, man? Why would you do that to me? You see what I'm saying? This shit happens all the time. It just goes over our head because, again, once you start studying this information, you'll be able to catch this shit when it happens or when you see these videos and stuff like that. So when they're telling you that when you hear this information about the lawyers, their allegiance is not to you as a client. Their allegiance is to the Bar Association. Okay? It's not to you. They are to follow a code of conduct when dealing with you as a client, but they have no allegiance to you. He's telling you right here.
You knew that was going on, right? To the court.
I took it upon myself, Your Honor, and
No, I don't want to talk to you, sir. I'm asking the attorney. You knew that was going on, right?
Yes.
Did you ask permission of the court?
No.
Did you know that you were a court officer? You were an officer of the court, sir?
Yes.
And why wouldn't you let me know that that was taking place?
I thought because it was already happening and we're in a public area.
This is not being live streamed, sir. Plus, they got permission from me.
I apologize, Your Honor. It won't happen again. It's my mistake.
I'm going to find you in contempt, sir. And we're going to set a contempt hearing for you.
Now,
All right.
now, again, I'm not disagreeing that he had to get permission. I'm not arguing that. I'm showing you this to show you that that judge was letting him know your allegiance is to this court, not to that client. You should have warned me that he was live streaming this to Facebook. Now we have to have a separate hearing because we need to talk to you to remind you who your allegiance is to. All right. This video will also be in the description box, the link to it. All right. Moving on. So you see. All right. Again, municipality, a city or town that has corporate. They're nothing more than corporations. Okay? Nothing more than corporations. All right? Now, let me see. UCC 1-308, Reservation of Rights. All right? All right? Now, I'm going to put a article in the description dealing with UCC 1-308. The 1.207 does not exist anymore. They omitted this. I have 2014, 2015 Uniform Commercial Code book. All right. This is no longer in there. They omitted this. It is now under UCC 1-308, Reservation of Rights. Now I'm just going to read up to this part right here. It'll be in there for you to read for yourself. It is an old article. It's from 2009. Okay, I came across this because, again, it is a good introduction. However, from your own research and studying, you will find more modern, up-to-date articles concerning the matter. I just thought it was a good introduction. All right, so remedy and recourse. That's what this is about. Remedy and recourse from this commercial environment. Every system of civilized law must have two characteristics: remedy and recourse. Remedy is a way to get out from under the law. The recourse provides that if you have been damaged under the law, you can recover your loss. The common law, the law of merchants, and even the Uniform Commercial Code all have remedy and recourse. Remember, we're in a commercial commerce environment. It's being governed by the law of merchants, the Uniform Commercial Code. Okay? All have remedy and recourse, but for a long time we could not find it. If you go to law library and ask to see the Uniform Commercial Code, they will show you a tremendous shelf completely filled with the Uniform Commercial Code. When you pick up one volume and start to read it, it will seem to have been intentionally written to be confusing. And I bear witness to this. This motherfucker, the one I had, it's as big as my damn head. Okay, it's got all this information in it, but the way they write these things, if you're not looking up words, if you're not familiar with the terminology, a lot of this stuff will go over your head. You know, that's why, again, you must study thyself approved. You must get in the condition yourself when you're reading this stuff to look up words as you're reading. And a lot of these words, you must understand, they have dual meanings. They have a meaning in I'll just say regular use, and then they have another meaning when used in law. You have to be able to recognize and decipher that. Okay. All right. Okay. So when you pick up one volume and start to read it, it will seem to have been intentionally written to be confusing. It took us a long time to discover whether remedy and recourse, that's what we want, are found in the UCC. They are found right in the first volume. Now again, 207 is no longer there, and I didn't check this 103, but I'm specifically talking about the reservation of rights. Excuse me, remedy. The making of a valid reservation of rights preserves whatever rights the person then possesses and prevents the loss of such rights by application of concepts of waiver or estoppel. All right. So again, this should be UCC 1-308. It is important to remember when we go into a court that we are in a commercial international jurisdiction. Now, when you go into these courtrooms, these witch chambers, when you look at the flag, it's going to have gold fringe around it. You are under Admiralty jurisdiction. We have been since 1871. Okay? We have been under martial law. All right? Okay? So when you All you have to do is look at all the judge shows. They try to hide it. They flip the flag over so you don't see that gold fringe on there. That gold fringe is letting you know you're under a commercial admiralty court. It is not the same as a common law court. Okay? So you need to take the time out. Again, the person I will always direct you to, a lot of his information is breaking down this. So I'll get at that later on down the road in the video. All right. So it is important to remember when we go into court that we are in a commercial international jurisdiction. If we go into court and say, I demand my constitutional rights, and you've all started hearing about these people saying that these judges are telling you that the Constitution does not apply here. Okay? Because a lot of you are going into Article 1 courts when you're thinking you're going into an Article 3 court, which is common law, Article 3, but you're going into an Article 1 court that puts you under commercial admiralty jurisdiction. That is why when you go in there, the judge in that capacity, he's just there to impose the fine on you. That's it. There is no justice in that courtroom. It's only a fine. It's only they're there to impose cost on you. COSTS, cost, which is nothing more than fines and penalties and judgments. That's it. That's all you're getting in them courtrooms. All right. Whether it's a fine or whether it's time, that's all you're going to get. There is no justice. You've already been convicted in those courtrooms. All right, so you're under a commercial international jurisdiction. If we go into the court and say, I demand my constitutional rights, the judge will most likely say, you mention the Constitution again, and I'll find you in contempt of court. Then we don't understand how he can do that. Hasn't he sworn to uphold the Constitution? The rule here is you cannot be charged under one jurisdiction and defend yourself under another jurisdiction. And guess what? It is your responsibility. Again, the ignorance of the law is killing us. It is your responsibility to go in that courtroom and challenge jurisdiction. Of course, you cannot do that if you're not aware. Okay? So that's what I'm saying. When you're spending time trying to figure out what the hell is going on in this environment and people are not dropping this type of information, again, I make no claim to being the one finding this. I'm not calling myself a guru. This is all the stuff I've been learning. Okay? If they're not trying to teach you how to maneuver in this environment unscathed, what good is it? All right? So, you mention the Constitution again, and I find you in contempt of court. Then we don't understand how he can do that. Hasn't he sworn to uphold the Constitution? The rule here is you cannot be charged under one jurisdiction and defend yourself under another jurisdiction. For example, if the French government came to you and asked where you filed your French income tax of a certain year, do you go into the French government and say, I demand my constitutional rights? No. The proper answer is, the law does not apply to me. I am not a Frenchman. You must make your reservation of rights under the jurisdiction in which you are charged, not under some other jurisdiction. So in a UCC court, you must claim your reservation of rights. UCC 1-308 without prejudice. Now, this link will be in the description box, all right? For you to read for yourself, because you have to educate yourself so you can educate your children on this so they can do battle with these witches. All right? Let's see. UCC. Now, this is what it actually says. A party that with explicit reservations, stated clearly and in detail, leaving no room for confusion or doubt. Clear, plain, straightforward. A party that with explicit reservation of rights performs or promises performance or assents, express approval or agreement. Assents to performance in a manner demanded or offered by the other party does not thereby prejudice the rights reserved. Such words as without prejudice, under protest, or the like are sufficient. You want to reserve your rights when you're signing shit. Reserve your rights under protest. A lot of these, again, when they tell you, when you say, I don't want to sign it. I have a right. I'm exercising my rights not to contract with you. Well, I'm going to take you to jail. Then if you're forced, you don't want to sign it. Don't sign your signature. Then if he's forcing, if he's saying he's going to tase you, then sign UCC, reserving your rights under protest without prejudice. Okay? Reserve your rights. All right? Now, in this article, it's going to explain to you how you should properly use this when it comes to signing things. Again. All right? Now, it's from 2009. All right? I'm just using this as an introduction. It is your responsibility to fact check the information, expand and expound. Okay? All right? Let's see. All right? Now, here's the definition of prejudice. That link will also be in the description. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. All right. Unenforceable contracts, what to watch out for. All right. I'm not going to go into that. All right. But that information will also be in the link for you, description box. All right. Now, I wanted to share this with you. I think I pretty much covered what I wanted, the meat and potatoes of what I wanted to cover. All right. So, this redemption manual. All right. Now, this is the new one. I myself have 4.5. Okay. All right. So, just want to give you, I'm going to read the description for you. All right. The Redemption Manual 5.0 or 5.0 book one will teach you about the process that will take you from being a debtor slave on the plantation to a secure party creditor. No small feat. This is the latest updated edition of the original Redemption Manual combined with the free From Servitude book to give you an amazing read, which it is. I am currently reading it with great instruction. All right. Here you will learn the fundamentals necessary to redeem your straw man, your inligus, and take control of your debtor and all property by filing a security interest and allow you to establish the standing and capacity as a secure party creditor. It is the how-to book that will teach you what redemption is commercially and from a biblical perspective. How corporations fit into the scheme of things, public education, the monetary system, the republic, money creation, and banks, your mirror image, and House Joint Resolution 192. House Joint Resolution 192, when the United States went into bankruptcy in 1933, when they took all the gold and silver. All right. There is no money. They took all the gold and silver. They are obligated to pay all your public debt because there is no money to pay for anything because they took it all. And what I mean by money, at that time, they had substance-backed money, which was the silver dollar and things of that nature. All right? This money, this fiat note that we're using today, and when you hear people say fiat, I did that wrong. A formal authorization or proposition, a decree. So these notes that we're using were nothing more than a formal authorization or proposition, a decree. Decree, edict, order, command, commandment, injunction, proclamation, mandate. That we must use those illegal notes. Okay? All right? That's a whole nother matter in itself. But when you hear people say that, fiat, that's what fiat means. Okay? We're not talking about the car. All right? We're talking about the money that we were forced, or the notes that we're being forced to use, because you don't have to use them. But again, that is another topic. All right? So back to this redemption manual. All right? Okay? So House Joint Resolution 192. They are obligated to pay your public debt because there is no money to pay for anything. All right? It will walk you through the entirety of beginning documents set up with the forms and instructions. You will also be shown how to do your own security agreement, copyright notice, hold harmless agreement, UCC 1 and UCC 3, to take back control of your debtor, strawman, your in legis, and all of the collateral and property. All right, remember I read to you the other day that they took control of you and everything that you own through the bankruptcy. They slided by you by calling it the New Deal. All right. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I'm going to. Here is Redemption Manual 4.5 edition. All right. This link. All right. This is a 678 page PDF. All right. This will give you the history of what they did. It'll give you an explanation on money mechanics and so on and so forth. All right. And show you how to become a secure party creditor. Now, this redemption manual, along with the one man out, goes hand in hand. And what I mean by that is that I put 2 videos the other day, which I will put more in this, directing you to the brother Yusef L. Okay, in my opinion, Yusef L does an astounding, a fantastic job, an excellent job of breaking down these matters. Okay, all right. 9 times out of 10, I'm always going to direct you to that brother in that brother's direction. Okay, again, I like the way he explains the information. He shows you where to find the information so you can read the information yourself. All right, it's never about, well, I think this and I think that, making shit up. No, this is what's going on. This is where you can find the information for yourself so you can study thyself approved. All right, so this redemption manual and that one man out, the information itself goes hand in hand. All right, all right. So go over there to USFL, and again, I will provide some more videos of his pertaining to the secure party creditor process. Now, I myself have the 4.5 edition. I am thinking about buying the new one just to have. Okay. Now, again, if you have problems downloading this, okay, because I found, let's see, this 4.5. This is the 5th edition. All right. Also, I will put these links in the description. Of course, if you have problems downloading these things, I have the 4.5 myself in hand. All right. So I'm going to put that in there. Again, it is time for you to study thyself approved so you can seek remedy. It's about remedy at the end of the day. Okay? All right. I believe that is it for now. All right. So again, for all of you with eyes to see and ears to hear, I make no claim to this information. I don't claim to be a guru. All right. All I'm simply doing is sharing information for those of you who are new to this information and for those of you who don't really understand the environment that you're in. Okay? So, with that being said, may the Most High, Heya, guide you on your journey. Study thyself approved. Okay? Get your diets in order. We have to return back to the Most High. We have to return back to the natural way of things. We have to return back to the natural law. Okay? All these laws that they're using to govern or to deceive us all come from the Bible. They're all biblically based. Okay? So with that being said, all praise and glory to the Most High. Hey, hey. All right? And I'll be seeing you soon again. All right?